Hello and welcome to Bias Bash. In the hot seat this day is Cal Thomas. He is a Fox News contributor and a syndicated columnist. Hey, Cal, I hear Oprah Winfrey's on your mind, and apparently she is using, what, the race card? Is that what you accuse her of?
Well, it's not I'm accusing. I mean, what she said to the BBC in the UK, here's what she said. There are still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die. Now, several things about this, Lauren. We could go on. We've had this debate in America for many, many years. First of all, Oprah Winfrey herself, of course, is an African-American woman and one of the richest people in the world. So she certainly has overcome any of this racism that she talks about. And instead of talking about the negatives, she might impart to the African-American community in America how she did it and how other people can do it as well. Secondly, she has said before, and I believe in this interview as well, that criticizing President Obama's policies, let's say for health care, for example, or even his foreign policies or any policies, is racism. Now, Samuel Johnson said that the last refuge of a scoundrel is patriotism. I think if he were alive today, he probably would have said that, well, you can add racism to that. This is in direct contravention to Martin Luther King's noble sentiment that a person should be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And if Oprah Winfrey is saying because of the color of President Obama's skin, he is beyond criticism for anything, I think that in itself is a form of racism, frankly.
Yeah, but there is a subtlety of racism, don't you think, though? Because does a racist know he's a racist, or he just thinks, well, that's the way things go?
Well, there is, but look, there's prejudice of all kinds. There are prejudices against older people in television. There are prejudices against males and in favor of female blondes on some networks. Look, that's just the way it is. You don't sit around and complain about it.
Who are you talking about?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there for whoever. Look, I don't care. Look, it's a business. It's a visual industry. You move with the tide. You go with the flow. You don't complain about it. You find out ways to get around it. And there are many, many examples. I mean, look, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, an African-American Republican from South Carolina, which has an incredibly racist past, but has made remarkable progress in modern years. Why aren't we focusing on that? Why aren't we showing other African Americans what they need to do in order to succeed in this country instead of focusing on things that will not improve their lives?
I'm defending Oprah Winfrey, though, because I watched the interview and I thought, she kind of got to that exchange with him. She kind of got to that ideas with him through the interviewer, and it was not really the bulk of the interview, but that's what everybody kind of focused on, because she said some really incendiary things, and I was kind of with her up until she said they need to die. I went, really? Oh my goodness, that's...
Well, Lauren, this also implies that somehow racism is a stain on individuals currently living.
Right.
This is like saying that only people now alive are sinners. This, for those who understand their Bible, is something that occurred in the Garden of Eden. This is something we inherit from our parents. So look, President Obama got millions of white votes, for heaven's sake.
Sure, absolutely.
Cory Booker, the new Democratic African-American senator from New Jersey, got a lot of white votes in New Jersey. I don't know what the problem is here. White people are voting for African-Americans. African-Americans are running for and winning offices at state and local level, and now at the federal level. Why aren't we focusing on the positives instead of the past? That would be my message.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right in terms of, it would have been better if she had said, they need to be redeemed rather than they need to die, I think.
Absolutely. You should have done that interview. I would have said 100% for that. And many have. Look at George Wallace, the late governor of Alabama, who confessed that he was wrong. Many preachers who grew up in the South and believed in segregation were later converted to the errors of their ways. This is what we ought to be preaching and teaching and modeling, not going back to cross burnings and lynchings and that kind of thing. It's good to remember that from our history, but it doesn't improve any life, and that's what Oprah should have focused on.
Well, if you want to hear more preaching and teaching from Cal Thomas, all right, you can to hear more media analysis, you can talk on this topic and others. Media Buzz with Howard Kurtz, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Fox News Channel. Thank you so much, Cal Thomas, for being on Bias Bash. See ya.